In this film, we will look at the impact of the First World War on places within the local community. We will be focusing on the men of the Inns of Court Officer Training Corps, who were based in Berkhamsted during this period, also giving an insight into their experience living within the area. The first of many locations is Berkhamsted Station. The soldiers of Inns of Court arrived at Berkhamsted Station and from here gained their first glimpse of the town. Originally, the course was to be based on the Ashridge estate. However, a site above the station was chosen instead because of its superior access to transport links. The station itself has not changed a great deal from that time. The camp in Kitchener's Field. The camp was pitched in the fields on the north side of the station. The soldiers acquired an almost derelict brewery which was able to stable the squadron's horses and belay a large part of the squadron's men. Initially, 2 large marquees were constructed for dining and lecturing. Eventually, as the number of men increased, 5 company huts were assembled for lectures and leisure. A large field which belonged to Berkhamsted School was used for drill. It became known as Kitchener's Field. On the 1st of August 1916, during a visit from the King, sword exercises, bayonet fighting, drill and musketry were displayed on Kitchener's Field, during which the King expressed his appreciation of the excellent work of the corps. We met up with archaeologist Jonathan Hunn to help us locate the traces of trenches in the area surrounding Berkhamsted.
So quite a variety in different areas depending on which unit.
Yes, I think so.
Digging.
I think these are probably the most impressive ones we've got.
This area was used extensively for training in various infantry tactics, including entrenchment techniques, musketry, the use of bombs, and instruction in the use of anti-gas equipment.
The biggest ones are definitely on North Church, where they just go on and on and on and wandering all over the place. I mean, that was the Western Front.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, they had to make them as big and as complex as possible to try and make it realistic, and the soldiers there trained would know.
And as you know, apparently the local schools provided the forces for the enemy.
Over 13,000 yards worth of trenches were constructed in order to teach the men how to successfully build trenches and then how to fight in them. It was hard to produce war conditions, but certain essentials were practiced, such as keeping up of connection, use of ground, continuous flank protection, and real weight in attack. The soldiers found the digging of trenches on the common to be hard and slow due to the clay in the soil. The rate of decay also has meant that very little evidence of their existence still remains.
And it's got a stag on it. That's Hertfordshire, presumably. Wait a minute. Yep. It's a regimental badge, isn't it? Notice what you've got. Possibly lost when they were backfilling. Can you read what it says?
Hertfordshire Regiment. Hertfordshire Regiment.
That should be identifiable in terms of data. It would be a contender for probably the best preserved military complex in the First World War in the country.
The Crown Pub. The soldiers had various activities they could do for leisure, including boxing and Saturday evening concerts. However, a popular activity was going to the Crown public house. The corps were given the use of a room in the Crown by the proprietor of the pub, where the soldiers could relax after a hard day's training. Colonel Errington, who commanded the corps, tells us that the Irish soldiers celebrated St. Patrick's Day with a dinner at the Crown. Let's go down to the Crown now to speak with some of the soldiers.
See, soldiers. So, how did the training go today?
Brilliant, sir. Berkhamsted common all day. Climbing new trenches is great fun. A cat badge though.
That's rather unfortunate. We'll have to requisition you a new one.
Indeed, sir.
A new soldier?
Back to the castle, doing machine gun practice, sir.
Ah, did you hit many targets?
Yes, sir.
Oh, congratulations.
Can't wait for the adventure though, sir.
Jolly good show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. We blew up every available railroad bridge within miles. Our patrols knew every nook and cranny within a large radius. My men charged with bravery against imaginary trenches. We were made equally hospitable wherever we went, and we will never forget the kindness shown by the people of this town. Altogether, I believe most of our men agree, in spite of inevitable hardships, that Berkhamsted gave them the time of their lives. The corps had a soul and was joyously alive.
What's your most memorable moment from the project so far? What have you enjoyed the most?
My most memorable moment? I'd have to say just interacting with new people, to be honest. I mean, there's some good people doing this project, and it's been fun at the same time as getting an important message across. So I'd have to say that just being with a new set of people, it's a great way to get out there, isn't it?
Do you think projects like this are really important?
I think they are really important to show young people how history is more important to them, and it's better to do it on the internet because the more young people go on the internet than actually pick up a book.
So what have you learned throughout this project so far?
Well, I've learned that it's very valuable to actually preserve our history, especially local history, because, well, I've studied history at university, but I've never actually focused very much on the local scale, and I didn't really know a great deal, for instance, about World War I and its impact on people in Dacorum. I think it's something that's very valuable that we should try and promote for young people in particular to learn, because I know at school we studied World War I, but we never taught that it had an impact on our local area.
Has the project made you think about things differently?
Definitely. I mean, I've been quite ignorant living in Watford for the past 12, 13 years of my life, and I hardly know anything about the town. But coming to Berkhamsted, which is really not that far away, about a 20-minute drive away, this place is sort of dripping with history, and I find that quite inspiring. It's quite cultured. It's a lot more than what meets the eye.
Why are projects like this really important?
I think they're important because it gets people involved in the history, because I think history can be looked at as just like an academic subject, just for like sitting in a library or sitting at school just working through books. But I think it's good to actually get practically involved in everything that goes on, especially when it does affect you and it has shaped the area.